ladies and gentlemen, also from my side. Great pleasure to see you all. And that were really great words of Aranka. She touched me deeply, I have to say. Thank you. And now I have such a pleasure to introduce to you Kevin Roberts. Kevin Roberts, founder and chairman of Red Rose Consulting. He is an internationally renowned business leader, an absolutely expert in sales and marketing. He was working for brands like PepsiCo, Gillette, or Saatchi & Saatchi, where he was the global CEO for 70 years. And today he is an honorary professor, he's a bestseller author, and he is such an incredible, inspirational speaker, as you will see in a second. Kevin Roberts, welcome to Lucerne. Good morning.
Hey everyone. Show me sign of evidence, proof of life. Hello? Yeah, come on. That's more like it. Yeah, we want to have some serious fun, right? I love Lucerne. I used to live in Switzerland, lived in Geneva for 8 years. Came here quite a lot. I think it's fantastic. Had a great time last night, watching the ice skating. There were days when I used to ice skate. I can't remember, a long time ago. So we want to have some serious fun, right? We're talking about big, serious stuff. I live now in Arizona and New Jersey, and I'm tired of serious stuff for the moment. I need a break. And when I sold people that and said I was coming to Switzerland, they thought I was mad, right? You want to have some fun and you're going to Switzerland or what? I said, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Everything to play for right here. It's fantastic. You could be somewhere else. You could be living in London now, as part of the communist China Marxist regime. So it's much more fun. I am not extremely politically correct. Okay, so I apologize in advance. Do not take it personally, right? But it's because I'm rich, famous, and powerful, so I don't give a shit. Right? So I don't have shareholders anymore. I don't have governance anymore. I don't have PR teams anymore, okay? And I'm on the back quarter of my life. I'm in the winter of my life. So who cares? My grandkids think I'm great. And they love it when I say funny stuff. So I'm here. I was given a brief by Dominic, who I've known for a long time. And he said, I want you to refresh, awaken, ignite, provoke, stimulate, shock. So it's his fault, okay? So anything to do with me, I don't declare any responsibility at all, okay? It's all down to Dominic. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there you go. Winning in a crazy world, right? We live in a crazy world. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Nobody knows what's going to happen to next, right? The lunatics are now running the asylum in the UK. Nobody's running anything in Washington. Joe's still walking around the palm trees looking for the photographer. His wife's going to lingerie shopping in Nantucket. Jill Biden in lingerie. It's not working for me, but there you are. It's a crazy world, man. If you think you know what's happening next, you don't, right? Do you guys ever watch ESPN? They have a show called 30-30. I'm going to give you 30 ideas in 30 minutes. It is highly unlikely you're going to agree with 30 ideas, because if you do, it's been a waste of my time and a waste of yours, right? I'm not looking for agreement. I'm not looking for alignment. I'm just looking to have some fun with you, to stimulate you and provoke you. Whether you agree or not, I could care less. I'm getting out of here this afternoon. 30-30, it's a volatile, it's a VUCA world, okay? They teach that at West Point. Not that anybody goes to West Point anymore, but that's what they teach there, the first 4. This is a world that is volatile. Check, volatile. Who knows what's going to happen next? Hello, Gaza. Who knows what's next? Hello, Sudan. It's uncertain. If anybody knows certainly what's going to happen, 5-year plans, 3-year plans, they make me laugh. I don't know what's going to happen this time tomorrow, especially now in Washington. Who knows? right? Elon Musk is there. I mean, this is like beyond any kind of uncertainty that you could imagine. It's only going to last another 30 days, then they're going to have a big fallout. Everything's complex. Nothing's black or white. Nothing's simple. You know, you heard before, we've got to be careful, we've got to be careful, we've got to be careful, because nobody really knows what's going to happen next. All I know is you can either be active or reactive. You can either be proactive or you can be a victim. You can either make stuff happen or let it happen to you. So I'm in the first block of all that stuff. It's ambiguous and it's accelerating. Is this the world you live in? Don't give me all this silent stuff. This is how it's going to work, right? I ask you a question, there'll be then a little pause, then you give me an answer. Yeah. It's just like before you were big shots and hot shots, right? Because now you don't pause and wait for the answer, you just keep talking. So 2025, it's been from elections to questions, right? We've had loads of elections, the UK, Germany, France. I don't know what they did in France. I don't know. They just seem to be going around in ever-decreasing circles. But the price of Bordeaux is coming down, so that's a good thing. Some assumptions just to get things started, okay? This is the end of the American age. 1946 to probably about 1987. And since then, just look at who's been in Washington. It's been like a circus, right? It's just, you all saw the movie Dumb and Dumber. That's what's been going on. The Chinese century has begun. You can like their morals, not like their morals. You can like their, it doesn't matter, right? Get used to it. It's just like the Egyptians, the Romans, the Syrians, okay? It's the Chinese. We're going to see the rise of Imperial Russia. You know exactly what they want. They want everything around them. They want it to be like it used to be. That's not going to go anywhere different fast. That's who they are. It's not one guy. It's the next guy, the next guy, and the next guy. Africa's not a sleeping giant. It's in a bloody coma, okay? I mean, we can talk about relationships with Africa and all that kind of stuff. Not in your lifetime. Get to work on stuff a little bit more closer in. The Middle East, good luck on trying to figure that out. Japan's continuing to meander sleepwalk through life. And everything's okay as long as it's not Gaijin, it's Japanese. India, Brazil, and Indonesia are going to accelerate. The bad actors, China, Russia, Iran, Korea, they will continue to bluster, bluff, and bully. Right? All that's coming. Europe is home alone. You are, everybody, it's down to you. Right? You just heard the last kind of thing. It's up to you. It's kind of breaking apart at the seams. Nobody's going to help you out with this stuff. Right? Alliances, partnerships, forget it. Okay? Stand up, stand out, and stand together in Europe. That's it. Get moving. The time is now. Europe's got to take responsibility for its own destiny. Okay? There is no more coming to rescue us. That's it. It's us. Okay? You got to be responsibility for its own destiny, its own identity. You got to close down Brussels straight away, get rid of all that lot, you know. None of them are doing any good, okay, except taking all our money. We've got to defend ourselves. We can't rely on the Americans. They're not going to, I mean, you just think about Hong Kong and watch Taiwan. They don't really, and look at Ukraine. Okay. We've got to look after its own people, our own growth, its own future. Do you agree or you don't agree? Stand up if you agree. Stand up if you agree. Come on. Okay, that's good. Terrific. Let's do it a little faster from now on. Good to see it. Why aren't you standing up, ladies? Get up. Of course you agree. Okay, you don't agree? Out. Okay. And in the U.S., what's happening in the U.S.? I live there. I live in Arizona, and I've just bought a horse farm in New Jersey. Okay, really nice. I live next door. My next door neighbor is Bruce Springsteen. He's the same age as me and the same height. I have 8 acres. He has 370. And that says it all, right? Anyway, the circus is now in town in Washington, and the clowns are all in residence. You know, you look at Trump, you look at Elon, and then you look at all these monkeys he's putting into the top jobs. And in America, We love it. It's going to be fun. Everybody loves a circus. It's going to be entertaining. Okay? It's going to be entertaining. Enjoy it. Don't be critical of it. Don't look at them. Don't be scared of them. The circus is in town. It's great. You love circuses in Switzerland. Well, this is what's going to go on. And there's no opposition to him. He's got Congress. He's got the Senate. He's got the Supreme Court. It's all over Red Rover. Okay? So do you like him? Well, I wouldn't have thought so. Do you respect him? Of course you don't. Does it matter? No. He's there. He's there for 4 years. Either ignore him or get on with him, but stop moaning about him. He's here. That's it. Okay? The economy's going to grow, which is good for all of us. Inflation's going to recede. The middle class are going to strengthen. None of this is happening in the UK. It's the reverse. Nationalism is going to grow, of course. I mean, you can see it's Make America Great Again. He ain't really caring about anything else, as the Canadians, Mexicans, and everybody else are going to find out. And we're going to watch all this, and we're going to get more and more amazed, and we're going to go, do you believe what he just did? And it's just going to be Trump being Trump. That's it. That's their strategy and policy. The Donald being the Donald. So enjoy it while you can. Right? Because he's not going to last that long. He's getting old. He's like Biden, except he's just louder. What do we need to work to? This is what we need to work to. We've got to go from the left to the right, right? Power and aggression to peace and prosperity. Wouldn't that be nice? It's just like I brought up in the 60s, and this was what we had in the 60s, and it's still there. But then we got distracted by LSD and all that kind of stuff. So conflict and harmony. I don't know what your excuse is. Yeah, fondue or something. I don't know. Anyway, disagreement. We need alignment. Nobody's going to agree with anybody anymore. Okay, you don't need to. It doesn't matter. You want diversity of thought, diversity of feeling. We don't want people to agree with us. You want people, though, to listen really hard, listen really carefully, okay? And then we have to align with a benevolent dictator or with the leader of the band. We got to align with an idea, but we're not going to look for agreement. Nobody will agree with anything now. It's the I world, right? iPhone, iPod, iPad, my opinion, my truth. My truth. Everybody's got an opinion, right? Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one. So, exclusion to inclusion. We've got to move from extremism into much more moderate. Stop yelling, listen to me, and start listening. Artificial intelligence, there's only two things about that that's wrong, artificial and intelligence. Apart from that, it's a brilliant idea. We need it, and it's very helpful, but it will not move humanity into peace, prosperity, harmony, alignment. AI will tell you we're heading for war. So we need creative curiosity to be aligned with that. And globalization's dead. It's all over, right? Make America great again. Russia for imperial. It's over. So you got to look after yourselves. I'm a businessman. I've been in business since I was 17 years old when I got kicked out of school. And I've loved it. Role of business clear for me. All this claptrap about, 3 shareholders and stakeholders and consumers. All nonsense. The role of business is to make the world a better place for everyone, because nothing else will. Politics will not. That's been demonstrated for 2,000 years. It's not going to be different. Okay? Governments, it's not the role of governments to do that. It's the role of business to create jobs, to create options, to create choices, to fulfill people's basic needs of ambition, of growth. Okay? So that's the role of business in my view, to make the world a better place for everyone. For everyone. To do that, you need leadership. People use managers and leaders as if they are the same word. They're not. You cannot manage your way to peace and prosperity. Can't be done. You got to lead. What's the difference? Managers get things done. It's a good thing, rather than not getting them done. But that's just maintaining and continuing and sending you to sleep. And it's death by 1,000 cuts. If you read the Aeneid, Virgil, he says in there, the gods first make bored those whom they wish to destroy. Yeah. They all live in Bern and Canberra and places like that. The smart ones, though, want to get out at some stage. Managers do things right. Leaders do the right things. Managers command and control and create other managers. Leaders create leaders. Look at yourself. Oh, I better still look at the person next to you. Leaders, you've got to lead Europe into this land of milk and honey. You've got to lead Europe away from these tight, narrow alliances, as you just heard. You've got to lead us, and Switzerland have got a big role to play in that because you guys are good blenders and good balancers, and you've got a success model. You just need to get out of your own way and stop smoking your own dope and have a little bit more confidence and a little bit more courage, because we can't wait forever for you to come and help us. Okay? Management by consensus, invented by the Japanese in 1946 to slow down growth in the Western world. They said, go talk to each other, stop doing stuff. And so we went, okay. No, you've got to use inspirational leadership. Agreement to alignment. HPO to PPO, high-performing organization, which all the business schools teach. It's not good enough, high performance. It's a basic table stake. If you're not performing high in a post-COVID world, you're dead. You just don't know it yet. PPO is a peak performing organization. Can you inspire your company, your country, your business so that the people who work with you perform at peak in the moments that matter? And they perform at peak more often than the competitors, because that's how you win in a crazy world, by having your team play in position and play at peak, like Real Madrid in Champions League. They'll use yesterday to Liverpool because it doesn't matter. Play them in a final, 16 times they win. MBO, management by objectives to data. What's data? It's a new form of decision-making process we're trying to convince people in. It all starts with diversity. And I don't mean woke diversity about gender, race, religion, all that boring stuff. You better have done all that by now already, okay? Yeah, you need to have all these 15 pronouns. I don't even know what they are or anything, but I know they're there somehow. This is people, as I mentioned, that are diverse in their thinking and in their feeling and in their passion and in their emotion. They're diverse. Gather them around you. Listen actively. No business school teaches listening. No corporate has any listening programs at all. They teach you the art of the deal, negotiation skills, selling skills. I know 24 ways to close a deal, okay, none of which worked in the bar last night, but never mind. There must be new ones. But we need to listen actively. 70% of listening is with your eyes, avec les yeux, con los ojos. It's how body language, your body language, the body language of these two here, the body language, right? Then you need a decider, a benevolent dictator. You've got to stop talking. You've got to stop the conversation. The dance has got to end, and you've got to act at lightning speed. Uda, uda, uda. Observe, orient, decide, act. Boom. Not constantly talk. Constantly listen, but then act. And then you've just got to look for alignment. That's data. Great philosopher. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. Forget 3-year plans, 5-year plans. 100 days should be your strategy. Today should be your action. Today, make happy choices. All right? Make happy choices. Do what's right when no one's looking. That was the philosopher who said that. And you beware of Kung Fu Panda, man. He very smart. First 3 things leaders should do. Everybody, every one of you should go home from here, photograph that, and write a personal purpose on a page. What's your inspirational dream? What's your spirit? What's your very essence? What's your core? What is your goddamn X factor? What makes you a superhero? What is your superpower? What are the 8 things that you believe? And don't give me all the normal claptrap, right? You don't even know what you really believe right now because you've just been part of society, part of the education system, part of the world, that your beliefs are all blah, 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 blah. What do you really believe? What is the one-word noun that describes you and only you? Bruce Springsteen, my neighbor. I think he's in there, I don't know, it's 370 acres, I don't know. He's the boss. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's he? The Terminator, you know who he is. Who's Dwayne Johnson? So who the fuck are you? What's your one-word equity that describes you, your superpower, and makes you the leader that Switzerland and Europe needs? What is that? Because as soon as you become that, as soon as you say that, that's on your T-shirt. It's on, God forbid, your baseball cap if you wear such a terrible thing. But there it is. And then suddenly you become that. And then your character. What are the 8 adjectives that describe you? Transformational, creative, thrilling, fun. You don't want to be a fuckwit, right? You want to be good things. And what's your focus? Everybody should have that personal purpose. I work with people like Jürgen Klopp. They've all got a personal purpose now. They know exactly on that what page what's the next 10 years looks like. This is a framework for personal freedom. Leaders have got to have that. You should whoop! Whoop! The next 3 years. What is your wish for the next 3 years? What do you wish? Just wishing and hoping. It doesn't have to be achievable. Just how you wish, man. What do you wish your life would look like 3 years from now? I'm living my wish. Woo! Here talking to you is funny as. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? It's crazy. What's the outcome of that wish? What does it look like if you achieve that? If you become a rock and roller, okay? What are the obstacles to that? And what's your plan to get over it? Right? You think Trump has got one of those? No. You think I've got one for him? And then you've got a blue ocean in your life. Very simple, right? They teach it at INSEAD. There's books about it. You don't need to go to INSEAD or read the books for a lot of reasons. But you don't need to. All you need is this. What are you going to eliminate from your life? Right? Do you really need all those cushions that are in your living room? Why are they there? You boys, do you think you're ever going to wear those T-shirts again? They don't fit you, and they weren't cool even when you bought them. And those beer glasses that you stole from the pub on the night, they've got to go. You don't need a Stella Artois glass. You just don't. And then we get to the girls and their shoes. So we can't go that far. So what do you eliminate from your life? Because you're wasting 40% of your time on stuff you shouldn't be doing. Idiot meetings, idiot emails, ridiculous logistics. Right, you're just losing time. 2 days a week is just a complete somebody else's calendar, somebody else's diary, FOMO, fear of missing out, all that kind of stuff. Eliminate that from your life and turn into the person that you could be. What should you raise? What should you reduce? What you should create? The most important box is eliminate. The hardest to fill in is eliminate. Create's really easy because humans naturally will create new stuff. But unless you eliminate, you won't have room. Do this before the end of next week. Thank you very much. Don't make sure you don't do it. You make sure you do it. Did you understand that? Not really. Here are the top 10 skills as outlined by one of your big think tanks. Isn't that amazing? Who'd ever want to be in a think tank? I don't like either of those two words. This is the top 10 skills they published. It's all there on the internet. For a CEO. Do not photograph this, ma'am. Don't, because it's too late. Well, don't worry. Keep your camera out. Because this is nonsense, which when you look at it, because the CEO should not solve complex problem solving, because that's not the job of the CEO. He doesn't have the time. Okay, he needs to have people working for him who are deep, incredible specialists, can solve that problem, solve it. The CEO's got too busy making the world a better place for everyone and doing a pretty shitty job for the most part. So he shouldn't be involved in that. Critical thinking, I speak English, I don't even know what that means. Every thought I have is critical to me at the moment, otherwise I'm not going to have it. So I don't get that. Creativity, good. People management, it's written by somebody in their 70s in 1985. People are not the answer to anything. People are a pain in the ass, right? You can walk out here as 1,000 people. You wouldn't hire any of them. They're all Muppets. So what's the point of hiring 1,000 Muppets? Because what you get is the Muppet Show. Okay, you get Miss Piggy, and then you get Kermit, and then that's it. I mean, so people are not the answer. It's talent, talent, talent. And management, nobody wants to be managed now. We want to be leaders. Consulting with others, you know what I think about that. Emotional intelligence makes no sense at all. It's an oxymoron. Emotion is never intelligent. Think of when you lose your temper, when you get overly excited. There's nothing intelligent in that. It's idiot. Okay? When you fall in love, that's never an intelligent decision. You never choose the rich one. You choose the dirty, sexy, interesting one. It's not intelligent. Service orientation, nonsense. Never give the customer what they want. Never give the customer what they want. Give them what they never dreamed possible. Give them what they need. So you don't want to serve people. You want to love them. Negotiation skills. Rule number 1, never let the CEO into a negotiation. Ever. Because he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Right? Elon Musk. You can't let him near anything that's important. That's why he could only hang out with Trump. It's fine. Because nothing's going to, yeah. Negotiation skills, get a top-notch negotiator to do that. Because if you think you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. Cognitive flexibility, I have no idea what that means. I think it means your brain works. I don't. Anyway, that's what I think about that. Now, the good news is now take the photograph out, okay? These are the top 10 skills leaders need. Every one of you should now vote yourself out of 10 on each one of these, okay? Just do it, right? Creative curiosity. What's your score? Oh, you can answer. Do you think I'm cross-eyed? I was looking at him. But I'd rather you go now because it looks like you have an answer. Don't tell me your life story. Just go on with the... No, I'm an 8. You're an 8. Good girl. There you go. Now, what are you? Now, it's a bit competitive, isn't it? Creative, curious.
You looking at me?
Fuck, we've just done that. I am.
Give a 9.
9, no! See, he's probably a 4, but he's not going to say that because she said 8. Active listening. Do we listen actively? Do we observe? 70% of listening is watching. Are we watching each other? Are you watching yourselves? I think you're probably going to score. You're not shaking your head, so you know. What are you going to score on that? 3? Right? And you're going to be high. Emotional sensibility, that's what you need. Empathetically, can you read the room? Are you sensitive to it? Are you sensible to it? Do you know what a woman thinks, what a man thinks? Do you know not what they think, not even what they say, not even what they do, but do you know how they feel? Because that's the art of consumer leadership. Kamala had no clue how Americans were feeling about her word salads. I mean, she lost an unlosable election, as did Hillary before her, right? Because they didn't understand how people were feeling. Because people will not always tell you. You've got to observe it like an anthropologist. Customer love, technology mastery, true grit, that's something was talked about. It's resilience and tenacity. So you can check that out later. That's what you need those 3 things at the bottom to be great leaders. You've got to lead with courage. I don't see any of that in Europe. None. I don't see much leadership in France, Germany, dare I say it, Spain. Italy doesn't count because they don't care about this stuff. Italy is just going to continue to make pasta, continue not to pay taxes, continue to have a great place to go. It's wonderful. Family life, they're smartest of everyone here. They've got it. So do we lead with courage? Do you lead with courage? Does your boss lead with courage? Do your leaders lead with courage? Do you bring out the best in others? My purpose is to inspire everyone I touch to be the best they can be. That's my purpose in life. Inspire everyone I touch to be the best they could be. Not the best I want them to be, not the best society wants them to be, but their best. How can I help them achieve their personal best and personal happiness? Great leaders play in position. They know what their position is, and they play it. They don't delegate if they don't need to. They don't micromanage. They give advice and consult. Sometimes they decide. They have the right people doing the right jobs in the right way at the right time. Okay? And then when you don't have Rodri, this is what happens. And if you do those three things, you execute with excellence. Okay? Think about any airline. Do they do those things? Think about any hotel. Think about any company. Think about any country. Think about how your household works, your family works. Do people know their position, right? Or does your partner not want to change the diapers when that's just what he should be doing? Then you go up, you got to do two things to lead and win: innovate for growth and champion productivity. That you got to do more for less, not with loss. More for less. Less time, less pain, less admin, less conversations. And you've got to understand all the time that you got to play to win. Switzerland plays to draw, to tie, to continue. 1.5% of GDP on NATO is playing to lose. You got to play to win going forward, because there's monsters out there. Let kindness ring. Let kindness ring. In this brutal world of power-driven, egocentric leaders, let kindness ring. Why? Because kindness builds business. When you're kind to people, you will get something like 18% increased productivity. Harvard, not that I'm the biggest fan, but Harvard have done some work on happiness, which is quite good. Happy people make people happy, as you know. 30% productivity. Happy people work 30% harder post-COVID than the unhappy, miserable. Oh, you know what BMWs are? Bitches, moaners, and whiners, right? So you get 30% of happy people are better than having 30% BMWs. So think about kindness. If you ever want to look at that, just take a look at KindWorks AI, which is a really interesting platform that small companies can get a hold of. Savor the suck. I work with Delta Force in the US, and they're the guys that dealt to bin Laden and so on. And they have a whole notion here that this is hard, it's going to get harder, and what you've got to do is love that. So when there's you and your 5 teammates, you're in the valley, there's 60 terrorists up there, you've got rifles, they've got machine guns, you have no air cover, you have no heli support, you have no ammunition. It's 100 degrees, you've got no water left now. The real leaders, they bend down in the sand, they kiss the sand on their hands and knees, and they go, God, please, let's have a thunderstorm. Let's get that temperature up to 110. Let's bring in another 20 terrorists, because I want to prove myself. I want to show myself that I was born for moments like this. So they savor the suck. You in Switzerland are living in the suck. So savor it and win and go forward. John Lennon, everything will be okay in the end. It didn't end too good for him. He said this before then. But apart from that detail, if it's not okay, it's not the end. I have no time for pessimism. I hate it when people say to me, the reality is, because what happens next is they tell me their boring, mundane, average, shitty reality. And I don't want to be part of that, okay? Reality is not where I want to live. It's not where great leaders live. That's where great leaders live. Great leaders are optimistic. They believe that they can control the controllables, yes, and everything's controllable. They know it's not, but they can influence everything because that's their mental toughness. This was mentioned before. We are the ones we have been waiting for. Nobody's going to rescue you lot. Nobody. Nobody's coming in, right? There's, as I said, the Lone Ranger is not coming. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And now is the time, okay? So get up, stand out. We got to move from MAGA to mega. Make Europe great again. Make Europe great again. Stop it. Everybody wants to come here. We got everything. We got history. We got tradition. Okay? We got screwed up Brussels. It's okay. Let's change it all. We got to make Europe great. You've got to have greatness within you. You've got to feel it. You've got to get on with it. You've got to stop talking and start acting. And finally, don't do dumb shit. Okay? Send that to Trump and Elon. Thank you very much indeed.
Kevin, I think every question I ask will be like dumb. So I'm scared. We met in the makeup room, right? And there.
That's the line.
Yeah,
we met in the makeup.
Yeah.
By the way, where do you meet him? I met him in the makeup room.
Yeah, and you
get
know
the
what?
picture?
Yeah, and you know what? His first job, at 17, was a makeup artist. Since
What are you laughing at?
And no, and the good thing, I just wanted to ask you, what have you learned there? What you still can use as a makeup artist?
I learned a lot of this emotional intelligence. Doesn't work. I know because it's not very intelligent when you're working with a beautiful lady's skin, and it's very important to her. She's feeling emotional, not smart. And you've got to be able to read her body language, read her movement, read her colors, read her mood. Because you're talking about the thing that's really very important to her skin, her inner feeling, her inner beauty, her inner love. So I learned really to not ask questions, not to talk, but to observe, to listen, to feel, and feel that vibe.
And that still is helpful. I mean, if you meet somebody you never saw in your whole life before, how do you know if this person has the skills to be a good leader, not a manager?
Yeah, I think I did a program with the FBI on their hostage negotiating team, where they really teach you how to understand your own body language and someone else's body language, so that as well as listening to the guy with the gun, you'll be able to anticipate how you're going to make him feel and how he's going to react. So I'm used to observing very quickly what I consider to be the person's mood, right? So that's the first thing you look at. There are 4 kinds of listeners. They're what you call a people listener, which I suspect you are, where you're really interested in people's stories, who they came from, what their favorite song is, where do they go on holiday, how do they dress, why do you choose these funky shoes?
You like them?
Know, I love them. I mean, I think they just say, you're bouncy, springy, dancing, young, up for fun. But so you're the kind of listener that's 4, right? Listener number 1 is the one that's people listener. Listener number 2, it's the action listener. Okay, I've listened to you. I understand it. Now tell me what you want, what you really, really want. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You need them, right? What do you want me to do? Then you have the content listener, which is around, listen, I've listened to you. I get it. Just give me the facts. So you're telling me there's this guy, right? And he's on this cross and he's up there for 3 days. And then they pull him down, okay? And then great things happen. But tell me, did you put your finger in the nail holes? Did you press it in? Did you tell me the facts? Tell me, not the opinions and all this. So there's give the research, the KPIs, the data, the dirty data. Then you have the 4th kind of listener, who is a fast listener, which is, hey, I'm experienced, I'm old, I've been here before, I've heard everything you've said. Don't repeat it. Don't tell me again. Don't give me example number 10. I got it. Here's what we're going to do. None of them is better than the other. We do all of them all the time, but we are predominantly any 2 of them. So I look for leaders who are really playing in number 1 and number 4, and I look for managers who play in number 2 and 3.
Thank you so much. The last question.
That was boring, wasn't it? I should have done that
No,
much
no, no,
faster.
no. It was great. It was great. But you know what? You told me the story about consulting Henry Kissinger's, and I really would like you to share this with our audience. It was so funny.
So, sorry.
No, that was me.
So when I was younger, I was working at PepsiCo, and a big part of the Pepsi business is to handle bottling agreements and to handle big things with the trade. And I was running the US for them, and they said, okay, you're pretty good at this, but you need to be great. So the best negotiator in the world at that time was Henry Kissinger, in their minds. Okay, he'd just retired from Secretary of State. He had his own business, so they lined up this thing. So I went with Kissinger for 2 days. It was like life-changing. Funny thing on it. I walked into his house, and he wasn't there, so you know who Henry Kissinger is, right? And he's a big guy, okay? I can't do his accent, right, because I speak English. And I walked in, nobody answered, so I opened the door, and there is this big, actually all you could see was that, but much bigger. So I could just see this big ass, okay? So I stood there like an idiot. And I finally said, Dr. Kissinger, right? And I know what to say. And then out of here, he's on the floor trying to do something with the video recorder. And he said to me, who's the best negotiator in the world? Answers? Who do you think?
Yeah, himself.
That's what you said. That's what I said too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Was it wrong?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, me too. But I said the same thing. You are, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? No. Okay. So it didn't get any better. Anyway, I said, so I tried somebody else. No. What was the answer? A 5-year-old kid, he said. He said, the best negotiator in the world is a 5-year-old kid, because the 5-year-old kid only ever says why. Why is it this? We got somebody here as a mum of a 5-year-old kid going, yeah, and she's remembering what happened this morning. Now, I want you to eat the yogurt for your breakfast. Why? Because it's healthy, healthy, healthy. Oh, yeah, why? Because, blah, 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 blah. And, because and then you end up with, because I said so, that's why. Anyway, Kissinger's going on to me, and I said to him, I'm sorry, I get the point now. How do you handle this complexity of your world? Because you have questions on China, on India, on political stuff, on all this stuff. He said to me, listen, son, it doesn't matter what the question is, I have the same 3 answers. And I think that is the art of negotiation.
Thank you very much. Kevin Roberts. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.